hello, good evening, and welcome to this very special, socially distanced performance of Showstopper, the Improvised musical. Thank you so much for buying a ticket and attending this performance remotely. You may have noticed that there are not that many new musicals being produced right at this moment and being performed. We, this evening, with your help, are going to put that right. Everything you're about to see will be spontaneously written by you, the audience at home. Now, I can see that many of you have already been wonderful enough to start putting some suggestions in our chat box. And throughout tonight's story, you can type your comments. You want a particular character, you want a particular something to happen with the plot, you would like us to homage a particular musical. You type it in the chat box and we will incorporate it in tonight's story. All of those things will happen this evening. I'm going to straight away start having a look at some of the things you've written. I will warn you, there are so many of them because you're all such incredibly creative individuals, it turns out. I won't be able to read all of them out, otherwise it'll just be an hour of me reading out your comments. But let's have a look at a few of the ideas that are here on screen in front of me right at the moment for where this evening's musical might be set. It says here, the World Health Organization comedy group regretting their COVID-19 joke. It's a little close to the bone there. We've got a little village in lockdown. Fantastic, a little small community in lockdown. We've got a request for the Pokemon theme tune. Maybe that'll happen sometime. A haunted house on a hill in Hallows Hideaway. Lovely. Haunted house. We've got set in a bookstore is another lovely idea here from Man J. Dares. We've got a few requests for Barnard Castle. I think we might stick away from political themes this evening, but I must just note that Barnard Castle has been a popular suggestion so far. What other ideas do we have here? We had a secret wedding in a world in which weddings are banned. These are all just wonderful and brilliant ideas. There are about 500 more suggestions here, but what I'm going to do before we start the musical is go straight over to my Showstopper colleagues, and we're going to have a little chat and see of what I've just read out. My dear Showstopper friends, are any of those that jump out at you as particularly exciting places to start a musical?
I like the bookshop.
I also like the bookshop.
Nice, yeah.
I also think with the COVID idea, you know, there's too soon and then there's now.
Yeah, very well said, sir. Very well said. Lovely. So we've got a big support for a bookshop. That is absolutely. Yeah. I think that is a brilliant idea. We're going to start tonight's musical in a bookshop, and we should say at this point, this musical is socially distanced. I'm just going to show you a little look around the room that we've got here. You can see our performers this evening are all in little perspex screens. They're distanced from each other. They've each got an individual camera. They've each got individual lights on them. I'm over here. Hello. We've got our band here. Our band are sat there playing in face masks, as you've already seen at the opening there. And we are performing the whole thing. This is a challenge to see if we can improvise a musical completely socially distanced. Let's see right now if we can rise to that challenge in this incredible set, Bookshop Musical, which begins now.
Take any book, open it and look. As the pages open wide, you'll find there's a world within.
Pick any page and see what's held inside. There's a world that can be uncovered and that cannot be denied.
What's your story? What's your story? And where does it begin? What's your story? What's your story? Hold on.
was just wondering if you had me booking me Mills and Boone.
Of course I've got your Mills and Boone, Mildred. 2 nights on 1 night.
Two
There you are.
nights on 1 night. It sounds filthy.
Yes, it is. It's really imaginative as well. They're really breaking the boundaries here.
Oh, well, thanks so much. I might just take it home right now if I can.
Oh, well,
I'll
Mildred...
get started on it immediately.
Well, please, yes, do. Here,
All
take
right,
it.
here's your money.
Oh, thank you. You
Oh,
are
thanks.
kind.
Got me pension today, that's why.
Oh, well, it's kind of you to be giving money to the bookshop.
Kind? Oh, no, darling. Oh, this is my lifeline. Yeah, this place and these books is my lifeline. Man hasn't looked at me since 1973.
Oh.
But in these pages, men have always got their eyes on me. So if you don't know the book, go and read it.
Mildred, it's lovely to see you, and thank you for
Lovely
your
to see you.
patronage.
See you next time.
Oh, hi, Mildred. Goodbye,
Yeah,
Mildred. Goodbye, Mildred. Hello, Marigold. Hi.
Oh, hello, Frank.
Hi. Just wondered if the book had come in for my dissertation, the one on Haunted House on the Hill.
Yes, yes, it has. Terrifying image on the front cover.
I know. If I was the publisher, I would have put something much tamer on it.
Yes, it makes you wonder what's inside.
Yes. Well, I'll be taking that one if that's all right with you.
Yes, of course. You read quickly, so no doubt you'll be back soon.
Yes, I do. I tend to read it mostly on the way out, and I turn around in the street and come back in and return it to you if you want it back. I mean, obviously you don't need it back. You're selling it to me. Look at
Yes,
me.
it's
I'm just
not a
rabbiting on.
library.
I'm rabbiting on, aren't I?
It's lovely to see you.
Yes, very nice to see you. Very nice to see you. How's Desmond?
He's well.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Well, good, because when he was ill, I was hoping that it would clear up.
Yes, thank you. He's better now.
Now, I think at this point, it's time to include one of your song styles as this relationship begins to develop. I think I'm going to look to the feed here, and there's been quite a few suggestions. You can see it on the screen now, and the Showstoppers can't yet. Quite a few suggestions for a song in the style of Dear Evan Hansen. So that's what happens right now.
I'm very pleased to hear that he's fully recovered, or is there still a little chance of a lapse or anything?
No, they've signed him off.
Signed him off.
Yes.
Good. So he'll be back here in the bookshop soon. I imagine.
Yes, stacking the shelves as always.
I imagine you'll be happy to have him by your side again, won't you?
Of course.
Well, I'd better take my books and go for a little read.
Frank,
Yes.
if you ever want someone to read with, we have a book club on a Wednesday.
A book club?
Yes. We read the books and then we come together and discuss. Well, it's just a book club, Frank. Surely you know what.
Oh, yes, I know. I'm aware of the concept of a book club.
Oh.
It's just that I didn't know that you did them here.
Yes, in the coffee area.
Yes, how do I find it? I mean, does anybody have a map to show me how to get there to the book club at the back? Maybe you could show me one day, and I'd be happy with that. Just sitting there with coffee and maybe a little chat.
Does anybody have a rule book to show
Does
me
anybody
what to
have a rule book to show
do? Does
me?
anybody know what I could be if I looked at you?
If you tell me
True.
'Cause just like a story, we're making it up as we go along.
Go along.
Just like a story, making it up as we go.
As we go. Just like a
story, we're making it up as we go. But maybe you'd show me the way to the back. What days do you do the book club?
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. Good. Wednesdays is a pretty good day for me.
Great. Well,
Yes.
see you here at 3.
3 o'clock. Good. I look forward to it. What book are we reading in time for next week?
We are reading D.M. Larson's The Flowers.
I love D.M. Larson. The way she looks at me and says those words, D.M. Larson, it's absurd. I keep thinking of her flying overhead high like a bird. Maybe one day I could see her and me together. But no, maybe I am crazy, so like any other story, we're making it up as we go. We're making it up as we go.
Story, we're
up as we go.
D.M. Larson, my favourite.
Yes.
We used to read that before I got ill, do you remember?
Yes, I do, yes. I love the opening poem. You read that to me on our wedding day.
Your eyes so blue that in this light the curtains billow as they shine, and there the blue against the white reminds me that you are mine.
Oh, sorry, have I interrupted? I know it's Wednesday and I love D.M. Larson.
Oh, hello, Catherine.
Hello.
I'm so glad you could make it.
I'm glad I could make it too. I know I don't normally turn up on a Wednesday, but D.M. Larson, I couldn't say no.
Well, Desmond was just reading the opening poem.
Oh, read the opening poem again, Desmond. Your voice is like velvet on a blackboard.
That's right, and when he reads the poem again, of course, he gets it exactly right, because he's reading it from a book, and there's no reason why he wouldn't. He reads it word for word exactly the same as he did before.
Your eyes so blue that in this light the curtain billows just like wine, and there amongst the morning light reminds me here that you are mine.
Catherine, would you like to take a seat, have some coffee?
Oh, yes, I'd love to. These are very comfortable. What delightful coffee. So good. Is anyone else joining us, or is it just we happy three?
We may have a new member this week, actually. Frank Mitchell. He'll be joining us. I should be here by now.
Frank Mitchell? He's a tasty piece of meat.
You know him?
Well, only to look at when he walks past my cottage on a Tuesday morning.
Yes, he is doing a thesis. He's borrowed a book about haunted houses.
You know an awful lot about him. Does that worry you, Desmond? Now you're back to your full, hale and hearty self. What's your wife been up to while you've been in your sick bed?
Frank's just a customer.
Is he the paranormal writer that you were talking about in your sleep the other night?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm helping him with some research. He wants me to see what happens if I think about something just before I go to bed. See how it stays with me overnight, and then will I remember it in the morning?
I do that. I think about you every night before I go to bed,
And
you're
I
the
think
first
about
thing
you.
I wake up.
Oh, I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm so sorry I'm late. I just lost track of the time. I had my head in a book. Ironic for book club day, of course, I understand. But I'm here now. I hope you weren't waiting too long.
No, I've just had some coffee and then sat here like a lemon while they have a marital ding-dong.
Oh, I couldn't comment.
Shall we read the first chapter, the poem?
Oh,
Absolutely.
the poem again.
Yes, but this time...
I think in this little book club reading here in the bookshop, there is only one way for this scene to develop, and that, of course, is going to be into a song in the style of Gilbert and Sullivan. Here we go. A Gilbert and Sullivan number descends from this incredible scene of awkward English manners.
I'm a particular fan of D.M. Larson, I don't mind admitting.
Oh, really? Me too. What's his favourite of yours? Or your favourite of his? I don't know.
I love unexpected love.
Oh, don't we all love unexpected love?
Don't we?
Yes.
Oh, your eyes so blue, like cornflowers in the sun.
Oh, your eyes so blue reminds me that you're the only one.
Oh, the curtain there, flowing down like wine, and that curtain reminds me that you are mine.
Sing through. Sing.
Sing Sing Chapter 2? The swans on the water, they don't go to slaughter, they elegantly swim down the stream.
The king and his daughter is doing what she oughta and remaining ladylike and sweet.
Everybody's waiting, anticipating the time when love will arrive.
The king is coming, the tune they are humming, and you can always thrive when you hear If
You
Look
At
me,
you'll
always
sea
me,
when,
you
look
at
me
but
if you
don't
look
at
me you'll
see
someone
else
instead.
Now that was delightful, but we've had several comments all sing exactly the same thing at the end of that song, and it's just this. Yes, Lisa Macross and many other people said that, but twice the speed. Here we go, twice the speed.
Chapter 3.
Yes, very good chapter. This is a
When-
much,
you
there
Face.
you'll
see
always
Oh,
any
see
if
you
want
to
be
self.
you
just
have to
look at
me
because
you'll
when you see
this.
me I
love
you
that's
my
my prerogative that's
Fantastic. That was at least twice the speed, I think. Wonderful. I would like you all now at home to start putting some ideas into the comments feed for a big dramatic happening, some big piece of plot that's going to happen in a few minutes' time. So we're going to go back to these people and these relations. We're going to go back to the bookshop, but I want you to think of what can be suitably big, epic, and dramatic, and we'll put that into the show very shortly. But for now, back to our characters.
It's such a mysterious, cryptic book, isn't it, in which some of the chapters are faster than others. But what do you think it's about? Like, thematically? How does the book resonate with you?
Well, isn't it like all books just about love? All books are about love in one way or another.
All books?
All books. Name me a book and I'll tell you whether it's about love.
Well, the manual for the Enterprise.
Absolutely. It's about the love for humanity and exploration.
The Power of Now.
Yes, that's about the love of the minute.
but the manual for a 1968 Ford Escort Pinto.
You love your car?
I really
There
did
we
love that
go.
car. I really
She's
did
right.
love that car.
I'm right. They're all about love.
They're all about love, but the question is, what kind of love? I mean, it's called The Flowers. It's a love that ultimately dies, isn't it? Like all of nature. It grows and it dies. It flourishes for a while, and we celebrate it for a while, and we're happy about that for a while, but then it dies, and
I don't agree. I think it's more about a love that looks like it's on its last legs, but somehow it finds its way up again into the light and survives forever, actually.
yes, of course, but in chapter 8, you'll notice that the creeping vine, as it grows up to the fence, it's ultimately eaten by squirrels and perishes.
But
Perhaps.
Yes,
notice that also-
fantastic, fantastic. And it's just at this point, in the middle of this incredible meditation, that, as suggested by Pete Bennett, someone leans on a bookshelf and opens a secret passageway. Everything changes.
In chapter 9, you see the squirrel is killed by poison and falls out of the oak tree only to be eaten by worms.
Oh gosh, this is far more tedious than I thought it would be.
The vault.
There's a vault in your bookshop?
Yes, this is the Little Apple Bookshop. And beneath, there are the roots of the tree that it was built over.
Marigold, were you aware of this? Were you aware that there was a secret passageway in your bookshop?
Yes, my father told me about it when I was a little girl, but I've never been down there. I thought it was a fable, a story you tell your children.
Well, it is a fable. It is a story you tell your children. It's the story of the haunted house on the hill. I was reading it only last night.
No.
Yes.
Frank, this is what happens in your book?
Not my book. The book I got here yesterday. The book
Yes,
I wrote.
fantastic. And at this point, I think it's a perfect moment for, as Emma H. suggested, a song in the style of Hamilton.
I mean, I just picked up this book the other day to help me with my dissertation. I read it overnight, well, actually on my way out and then on my way back in again. And I promise you, it talks of exactly what you just said. The secret passage, an old tree. It's extraordinary. How can a story filled with glory take you all the way downtown until you find yourself in a world upside down? Maybe it's because we're all just a clown.
How can a story just be so real? Do you feel what I feel when I reveal this thing behind me? What
Called a shelf.
is it? A passageway? No, the shelf was there. I didn't reveal that. That was always obvious. It was behind the passageway behind that now we find ourselves drawn towards.
It seems there is a sequence, it seems there was a secret. It seems we find these things out, maybe find them too late.
These are stories of the past, and now they're back to haunt us. Stories of the past, and they were here before us.
So we're trapped in a story, and maybe it's a horror or maybe it's true. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little scared when I look at you and the books, and I hope that it's not just you.
I'm rather old to be going downstairs that I didn't know I wasn't aware were there. Didn't know that that was behind that shelf, but now I'm here, so what the
You
hell?
find things out when you don't know. They're just there back where you don't go. You know they are right there behind the shelf, and you don't know what's even inside yourself.
Stories of the past, they are here to haunt us. Stories of the past, they're here for years before us.
We seem to have found ourselves in something of a mystery ourselves. I mean, is it a love story or is it a horror story?
Can't it be both?
I'd rather it was one than the other.
Oh, but all horror stories are love stories, really. I mean, Dracula, Frankenstein. Those are the two I know.
And you're right. They are both stories about love.
You know in all good stories, a passageway is a metaphor to your darker self. And it wouldn't be a good story if you didn't go down that passageway and see what's down there.
Come. Stories of the past, they might be here to haunt us. Stories of the past, but love was here before us. Stories of the past, they might be here to haunt us. Stories of the past, but love,
what do you think's down there?
Well, I don't know. Let's not talk about it and let's just go.
Catherine, it could be dangerous.
Oh, fiddle-dee-dee and fiddlesticks to danger. Come on, you don't get to my age without doing a little bit of adventuring. Last one down's a turnip brain.
I don't mind. I nearly died once. I'm up for it.
The most exciting thing that's ever happened to me.
Really?
Come on.
The most exciting?
Yes, no offence, Desmond.
I'm with you. I'll come. Lead on.
Oh, well, shall I lead, seeing as I'm the one nearest the hole that I've opened up?
Open up the book. Let's dive into chapter 1.
Okie dokie.
Into the book, into the deep. Some things are secrets we keep. Into the book, who knows what we'll find. Into the book, into the deep. Who knows what secrets we keep. Into the book, into the past.
Well, in all good stories, everybody splits up at some point, so I'm going this way. And if anyone wants to come with me, this way. But you could always go that way, or even that way, or that way if you wanted.
Which way are you going to go, Desmond?
I thought I might go with you,
Right.
but... Do you mean right or right?
I meant right the direction.
Then that's the direction I'll go. Which way are you gonna go?
I thought I might try left.
I'm going left. I don't know about anybody else, but I thought I'd try left. Oh, you're going left as well, are you,
Yes.
Marigold? That's funny. Well, maybe that's worked out quite well. You and me can go left, and Desmond and Catherine can go right.
Right.
And you're absolutely right, Catherine. In the actual book, The House of Horror on Hallowed Hill, they do split up, 2 by 2.
Oh, well, there we go.
I don't know what they find. I'll have to read ahead.
Oh, no, don't spoil it. Let's find out when we get there.
Come on.
Let's go.
Into the book, into the deep.
Who knows what secrets we keep?
Into the book,
Into the past.
into the book,
Into the deep. Who knows what secrets we keep? Into the book. Into the past. I always carry a torch with me, Marigold. It's just a quirk of mine. It's because I get power cuts up at the house and I like to keep working, you know.
Of course, I keep one next to my bed. In fact, Desmond said the other night when I was crying out in my sleep that I was flashing the torch everywhere looking for a way, he said.
Huh, look at these old corridors. It's like the tree roots are growing through them. Who knew that you had this bloody mystery right under your bookshop?
No, it's so exciting. And my father was such a boring man, and this really is his story, growing all around us.
What were you crying out in your sleep? If it's not too personal a question.
Well, your name.
That's a personal answer.
Well, I wrote it at the top of the report that you wanted me to help you with.
What, in your sleep?
No, before I fell asleep, I wrote your name.
Oh.
But I cried it out in the night.
Marigold.
Frank?
I've been in love with you for a very long time.
You look worried, Frank.
But I am worried. It's a very revealing thing to say. It's really putting your heart out there. It's just that the two of us here, close together in these tree roots, and Desmond not around for a moment, in this extraordinary mystery, my heart's racing, and I find that I'm compelled to tell you how I feel.
Well, tell me.
I'm completely in love with you, always have been. From the moment I first came in and picked up that book about accountancy, I just looked at you across that desk, and the smell of the mahogany was filling my nostrils, and I knew that you were the one. You were the one I wanted to find on the last page.
It's too late for this adventure. We missed our beat in the line. It's too late to carve a path now. With this pathway that's twisted and twined.
Yes, I suppose you made a life commitment to Desmond, didn't you? And you are an honourable lady.
Yes,
Good for you. I hope he makes you happy. Does he?
No.
No. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I have to stand by him. He was very ill. It's not a question of what I want. It's a question of what I should do. I can't just break a moral promise.
Why can't we have the ending that we want? Why do we have to go through these chapters of pain? Can't there be an ending that's happy again?
Why can't we have the ending we planned for? Why can't we start the story all over again? Why can't we read between the lines so black and white it seems? Why can't we find the game?
If we could break the spine of this novel and set ourselves free, maybe we'd be happy.
If we could break the spine of this novel and see what we really want to be.
Can't we write ourselves a happy ending? Can't we write ourselves a big surprise? Oh, can't we write ourselves a happy ending? One in which Desmond dies.
Frank!
Oh, sorry,
Frank, I don't think it's a good idea for us to be together down here.
What?
I'm going right.
No, don't go right, please. Please, everything exciting is to the left.
It's too late. I've got my own torch and I'm going right.
Marigold, wait, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Frank.
Can't we find ourselves a single happy ending?
Can't we
Now I'm lost here in the darkness and the rage. Oh, can't we write ourselves a single happy ending? All that matters is it fits upon the fine page. Damn it.
Well, Desmond, this is exciting, isn't it? This is much better than being in a sick bed.
It certainly is.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as we follow Catherine and Desmond there, we got a suggestion from AF, which says that Desmond and the other lady, Catherine, I think, Desmond and Catherine find a wall of hieroglyphics that Desmond translates the fate of his relationship with Marigold. Fantastic. These two find hieroglyphics down there in the basement that leads them to some truth about this relationship.
Was it boring being ill? I've never been ill, not once in my entire life.
It was boring being ill. The rest of my life has been quite boring, to be honest with you.
Oh, Desmond, you're seeming very low. Why so low, Desmond? Why so low?
Something about being on a sickbed, you start to think about things that are weighing on your mind, and I look at you and you're such a beautiful, glamorous woman.
Oh, stop it. I'm old enough to be your aunt.
That may be true, Catherine, but aunts can be quite almost close to you in age. And even if they weren't, what does it matter? My God, look at that.
Oh, I know. I'm beautiful. I know.
No, Catherine, not that.
Oh.
Look. This masked picture over here. And over here is a picture of a man with a fez, but in 2 dimensions.
Well,
Wait.
that's a hieroglyph.
A hieroglyph?
If I'm not mistaken.
I remember reading a book upstairs in the Egyptology section. Quite unusual to have an Egyptology section in such a small bookshop.
Well, it's unusual to have a passageway underneath a small bookshop, but you've got one of those.
Hang on, let me see if I can remember what these are.
Hieroglyphs, I just said.
No, I mean, but what they represent, Catherine.
Right, sorry.
There's a crossed palms, masked, and 2 thumbs upwards.
Like a bird.
There's a crane standing on a boat with its head on another lion's head.
Oh, there's a fist.
That's right, and then 2 fists, and then 2 fingers into each fist with a mouth on the top.
And then there's someone covering their eyes, and someone with a wide, gaping mouth. Oh, that reminds me of my youth.
That reminds me of the youth that I wish I'd had.
Oh, well, you should have had it, but you didn't, and it's too late now.
When you see your dreams written on a wall, and you know that life was different, you could have had it all. And there it is right there, written, scratched in the rock. And you know that your life ended in the dark. For there are opportunities, they are written on the wall. There are opportunities of a life that's different to it all. There are opportunities, like a man with a fez. And there are choices to be made.
So what does it all mean, Desmond? What does it all mean?
Come here, Catherine.
Okay.
Come close to me and I'll show you exactly what it means.
I think I'm close to you, Desmond. It's very dark down here.
Maybe we need to be a bit closer, but this
Let's
is
just
probably
go
close
for
enough.
here.
Now you know what I mean.
Good Lord, Desmond. That wasn't what I was expecting at all. Not at my age, with my legs.
I just took an opportunity, took it there from in front of me. I just took an opportunity for a better glamorous life. I just took an opportunity, took it there from right in front of me, and there is a potentially different wife.
Well, what does this mean for your actual relationship, Desmond? What do you see in the glyphs?
I see that I only married her for the bookshop, and it turns out that the bookshop isn't really worth much. And now you're here, it's all in a different perspective.
Desmond, you're an awful man, and I like you.
Oh, there is an opportunity. There it is right in front of me. There's an opportunity for life. There is an opportunity. There it's right in front of me. Come here, Catherine, you can be. Come here, Catherine, you can be. Come here, Catherine, you can be. Quick, I think I can hear someone coming. Let's go further down the corridor.
Okay.
Oh, Father, what to do, what to do. You were here.
But I am here.
Dad?
Yes, it's me, your father.
Dad?
Well, it's not really me. I'm a mere phantasm, a spirit, a shadow of what was and is yet to come.
Yet to come?
Well, yes. I'm mysterious. I'm a ghost now.
Oh, Dad, I've missed you so.
Oh, I've missed you too, dear. Terribly.
What do you think of the shop?
Oh, I think you're doing a marvellous job. Yes, I love the book club. Oh, I would have loved a book club. That would have been wonderful. We didn't do book clubs in my day. Too much talking, too much emotion. Not good at that.
No, you're so boring, Dad.
Oh.
Oh, no, I don't mean it
No,
offensively.
you're right. No, I was a very boring man. A boring man who owned a bookshop and yet wore a top hat.
Well, that was your bit of fun, your bit of flair.
Yes, I used to think this was fun. Now I just think it was a way of hiding my lack of personality.
Oh, Dad,
No, it's fine, Marigold.
I miss you.
I miss you.
I think at this point, I can no longer ignore the approximately 5,000 people who've suggested that we have Phantom of the Opera in this musical. In fact, if I just bring this up on the screen here, Stuart Barr says, Phantom now, and in capital letters, please. So yes, okay, I think it is now the perfect time, now that we have an actual Phantom in this musical, to have a song in the style of Phantom of the Opera.
I've thought about you often.
I think of you all the time.
I think of you every day, even though I'm far away. I think of you just the way you were.
I think of you holding me. I think of you scolding me. And Father, I wish I could be where you were.
I think of you moving on, growing more and more. I think of you aging and walking through my door. I think of you,
The girl you loved and want to be and make you proud. I think of you out loud.
but now you've come down here where the living shouldn't be. I never thought you'd come down here and find me. I kept it secret all those years, made it sound like a story, sound like a fiction, and now you see it appears. I think of you every day, even though you're far away. I think of you even now, you're standing by my side. I think of you every day, even though you are now far away. I think of you even now, you are by my. Read for me, Marigold. Read for me.
The flower she picked, she could not hold, for the thorns tore through her feet. Reach for me! Father,
Yes.
the flower poem. It's given me everything I need to know.
Well, of course it is. Why do you think you're called Marigold?
Goodness me. Absolutely lost down here. Have a look at the book. Just have a look at the book. Always carry an earpiece with me and always put it in. It's my motto. That's what my father used to tell me. The book, though, the book says that down in the depths of the tree she meets the spirit of her father, who gives her vital advice, and if not followed, then... Oh my God. I have to warn them. I have to warn them.
Well, I'm exhausted.
Me too.
Maybe we should do something other than have sex with each other.
Read to me.
Okay. What would you like me to read from? What book?
What's your favourite book?
Far from the madding crowd.
I have a copy with me.
Oh, God, I didn't know. Oh, blimey, said a woman who was probably young and impressionable, and then a man did something unspeakable to her, and she died in a horrible, horrible, tragic way. Oh, Hardy.
He was pretty hardy, wasn't he?
He was. And women always ended badly, and men always ended worse.
Well, let me read a bit to you from this book. What's this one?
Oh, that is Barnaby Rudge.
Barnaby Rudge. And so Barnaby Rudge and Mr. Piggywinkle travelled backwards from the farm, and up the hill sat Mr. Twaggy Hands, came down onto them, giving them a bucket of mead, and said, "Here, you whoopsie popped. There we are."
Oh, it's the Beatrix Potter version of Barnaby Rudge. I feel like we're just wasting time and not getting to the nub of the thing. What are you gonna do? You can't just, leave one wife and have well, I mean, you can. That is actually a thing you can do. You could just leave your wife. But I don't get the idea that's what you want to do.
I want to have it all.
Oh.
I'd like to have everything. I'd like to have it all laid on a platter. Just when you get it all, there's the thing you think, that all the things you had just didn't matter.
Well, I've never understood the phrase, have your cake and eat it too. Because if you got a piece of cake, well, what else are you gonna do? No, I've never understood why you wouldn't eat the whole thing. Cause otherwise leaving it would just be a sin.
So if you have your cake and eat it, have your cake and eat it. It doesn't seem like that's a bad plan, and you will defeat it. Have your cake and eat it. Have your cake and eat it. When you can have it all.
Well then, if you want it all, I suppose I could just be a bit on the side, and you could still have the bookshop and your lovely wife.
If you're happy to do that, then I'm happy to go that way.
Oh, I'm happy. I've lived my life, had my husbands, and now I just like a little floozy, and you'll do.
Cause you can have your cake and eat it. Hey, have your cake and eat it. Know that that's your plan, and you will never defeat it. Have your cake and eat it. Have your cake and eat it. You can have it all. You can have it all.
And have a good ball.
You can have it all. Let's do it again.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Thank God I found you. It's like a bloody rabbit warren down here.
Yes, it is. You're out of breath. What have you been doing?
Running. Trying to find someone. Trying to find Marigold. Desmond, do you know where she is?
I've no idea. I haven't seen her.
She was with you. What have you done to her, you cat?
Yeah.
Nothing. I didn't behave like a cat. Maybe I did behave like a cat. Desmond, I did behave like a cat. I told her everything. I told her how I feel. I told her I love her. I do, Desmond. I love her. I'm in love with your wife. I'm in love with your wife, and I wish you died. All right? All right? I wish you died from that terrible, weird illness that no one quite could pronounce.
Well, while you're having this conversation, I'm just going to go and pop down this alleyway here. I don't want to be another lemon while you're having a marital to-do.
For God's sake, Desmond. Do you love her? Do you really? I mean, do you look after her? Do you look after her the way I could look after her? I swear to God, if you didn't love her, I'd box your ears or inject you with an illness.
Oh, you
yourself.
box my ears, would you? I've been back from the dead before. Nothing you could do could hurt me.
Yes, fantastic. And at this point, as the two begin to really get into the mud here, it has not escaped my attention that literally every second comment in the chat box is by Emma Riley asking for Beetlejuice. Yes, I have not passed by. This is going to turn now into a song in the style of Beetlejuice the musical, as things really hot up now, as we're only 15 minutes or so away from the end of this story. A song in the style of Beetlejuice emerges from this confrontation.
So you reckon you can box my ears, do you?
Yes. What's that? You've got lipstick all over your mouth, all over your neck. My God, you don't love her. You'd fool around with Catherine. My goodness, what's wrong with you, man? She deserves a lot better than you.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're down here with me now, and what you gonna do about it? Stuck down in the cellar underneath a bookshop, hey?
Oh, this is a song about death. This is a song about death. The death that you deserve. I hope you draw your final breath.
Oh, yeah! This is a song about death. This is a song about death.
The death that you deserve. Your breath.
Well, look at you, little man, standing there with your bald head just like mine. But I'm quite a bit taller, like a big straggling vine, and I could take you with one hand, and I could crush the life right out, and I could squeeze you there and put you there like this lipstick on a pout.
This is a song about death. This is a song about death.
It's just what you deserve to draw your final breath. final breath. You can't get away by just insulting me by insulting yourself, but taller. Don't think I didn't see what you did.
So what's your tactic?
I'm going to tell her how much I love her. Down here in the book, there is a tragic ending or a happy ending, and what we do next depends upon the outcome. Or rather, the outcome depends upon what we do next.
But surely a tragedy is just dependent on the position you look at it, depending on who is the protagonist and who is not.
I don't know, Catherine would say it's probably all about love, and maybe it is all about love.
What does she know about love?
Well, maybe she knows more than she lets on. I don't know. All I know is that this is a song about
This is a song about death.
This is a song about this. This is a song about you deserve to draw your final breath. This is a song about death. This is a song about death. You deserve.
No, you deserve.
You deserve.
No, you deserve.
You deserve to draw your final breath. I've read a lot of books. Oh, Catherine.
Oh, I just came back. I'm gonna go out and through the other corridor. See you in a minute.
Oh, you're very welcome if you want, Catherine. You're just about to see me box his ears.
Well, open your book. Tell me what it says next.
Catherine re-enters, having been interrupted.
Oh, hello.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to come into this room. I meant to come into another room, but I came into this room, and the book says I have to come back into this room.
Hold on. Let me look at the next page. She immediately re-exits and surfaces in the room where she originally intended, while the other two characters fade into the shadows.
Hello there, you're here. They've all been looking for you, both of the men. Well, one of them particularly, and then one of them sort of.
Well, which one? Which one was looking and which one was sort of?
Which one do you want to be which?
I want Frank to be the one that was looking.
Oh dear, it's all a tangled web, isn't it? What a mess, what a terrible mess.
You have a look in your eye.
Yes, I do, and I'm looking right at you, and that look is reflected in reverse. You're like a mirror. You've got a look in your eye. I know what you're after. What do you want? What do you want? Tell me, I know what you want.
Well, tell me then. You're so all-knowing. Every story is about love, so Catherine says.
Well, there we go then. What is it you want?
I want truth.
What is it you want?
I want to be happy.
What is it you want?
I want Frank.
You want love. You've got Desmond on the one hand. He's a safe pair of hands. All right, he nearly died, but well, that's the sort of thing a wife understands. You've got Frank on the other. He's an exciting, adventurous type. Is that what you're looking for? Is the apple ripe? You want love. You want love. It's what you've been looking for all this time. You want love. You want love. And with love, there's no reason or rhyme.
Bound by a story of loyalty to the husband that I love. And I care for him deeply, it's true. But when I look into Frank's eyes, there's a surprise from up above. It's a feeling I never truly knew.
'Cause you want love, you want love. It's what you've been looking for all this time. You want love, you want love. And with love, there's no reason or rhyme. You might have the safe one
there you are. Well, here we are, back in the bookshop, where it all started.
Well, does anyone want a coffee? I could make a coffee.
Have
Now
some.
we're up above ground, I'll put these back on.
We have a lot to talk about.
We do.
All characters have to go through the dark in order to find what it is that they truly want. Well, me and Desmond have been down there in the dark, haven't we, Des?
We certainly have, Frank.
And we've been talking. We almost fought, I'll admit. I nearly started a fight. I didn't. I'm a pacifist. But I found myself almost fighting. But I didn't. That's the main thing. I haven't fought. I haven't fought since school. I digress. The point is, Marigold, is that we both love you. We're both in love with you.
Well, I only love one of you.
You see, there are two books. There's this one, The House on Haunted Hallows Hill. And there's this one, Flowers. And you have to choose.
Then I shall take my father's advice and think of him. I choose the life of the most exciting story. The story that he never had the courage to choose. Desmond, I do love you. But not in a way that can move forward. It's the end of our story. Frank, I want to begin anew with you.
I'm asking you for your blessing. Let us move on and sing another song.
I'm telling you that it's messing, and I feel that it isn't wrong.
And I am sorry that I wished you'd died 1,000 times, so I wouldn't be denied what's mine, or so I felt. But now I see she does not belong to me. But oh, I'm sorry for all those thoughts and all the demons that I fought. The truth is, love just somehow grew like a flower I always knew.
You can't stop the story inside of you, 'cause it'll find your truth. It knows the truth, it's true. It's your true story. You can't stop the story inside yourself. It pours forth, it's true. It's your true story.
Marigold, also I have to say that even though I did nearly die just because of that, it doesn't make me not have been, frankly, a bit of a shit. I don't deserve you. And that's the truth. You deserve a better man anyway, like Frank, and maybe I deserve someone who's a bit older than me and...
Oh,
but
I'm old enough to be your aunt.
maybe that's just the way it works out.
And as this continues, we've had quite a few suggestions in the feed that we need to repeat the poem from the beginning of the story. As we move towards our glorious finale here, we hear that poem and ponder on its meaning one more time.
And that poem that we love, let's all read it together.
Together? I'll take my glasses off for that.
It's so hard to see you all with the shelves that are right in front of us.
Yes.
Let me move them out of the way. A flower is
beautiful,
But
not
as
beautiful as you. You are more beautiful than a flower. That's what I'm saying in this poem.
Well, wise words there, I think.
Wise words.
Wise words. I love him.
You are more beautiful than any flower, Marigold, even though you have a flower's name. And if you'd let me grow beside you, there's nothing I wouldn't do for you. Look, here's the dissertation that I finished just on the way out and on the way back in again. Here.
It's about truth. And the story that you can write. That stays in your head all day and night.
Well, same time next week, what are we going to read?
I don't know. There are literally millions of books. We can take our pick and have any story that we want. What about something uplifting, full of
Like
hope?
a wedding within a wedding.
A secret wedding.
A secret wedding.
In a place where weddings aren't allowed.
Exactly. Oh, I love the sound of that. Do you like the sound of that, Marigold?
Yes, a wedding sounds wonderful to me.
Good golly. Every story has an ending, whether it's happy or sad. Every story has an ending, that's the truth we understand.
Now we have come to our ending. We shall see what happens. We will do it together.
So turn the page of life together. Turn the page of life and get it done. Turn the page of life together. 'Cause on the way you're gonna have some fun. Turn the page of life together. Turn the page of life and get it done. Turn the page of life together. 'Cause on the way it's sure gonna be fun.
And I totally give you my blessing. And we have a future too.
Don't know if I'll marry you, but a little bit of the other will do.
Turn the page of life together. Turn the page of life and get it done. Turn the page of life together. 'Cause on the way it's sure gonna be fun.
Marigold, this is a truly magical bookshop, and what secrets you keep down below should perhaps be kept secret for another chapter. Don't you think?
I agree. And I'm ready to let Father go now. Let his spirit soar free.
Farewell, father-in-law I never knew.
Think of me, think of me. Goodbye.
Goodbye!
Turn the page of life together. Turn the page of life and get it done. Turn the page of life together. 'Cause on the way. 'Cause on the way, it's sure gonna be
Thank you. That was our story this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting Showstopper, the socially distanced musical. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for all of your comments. This story couldn't have happened unless you were there giving us your ideas. This was your story that could only happen right here tonight, especially for you. Thank you so much for tuning into this experiment. We hope you enjoyed tonight. Thank you to all of my Showstopper chums. This evening we had performing Ali James. We had Justin Brett. We had Ruth Bratt. And we had Adam McGeedo. On keys we had Duncan Walsh-Atkins. And in the corner of the room there we had Alex Atty. Turn the camera, beautiful. And you aren't able to see here in the room, we also had Oscar Thompson on sound right the way over there. We also had Damien Robinson, who's at the other side of the room. Thank you so much to everyone in the offices as well with Something for the Weekend, Susanna Rosenthal, Rhiannon Morris, and everyone else who helped make this happen. Hopefully we'll do some more of these. Let us know if you enjoyed tonight's performance, and you can follow us on all of the social media things that are down there on the bottom of the screen right now. Before you leave the YouTube page, please click on subscribe and click the bell icon so that you can be notified when we load a video up. Look there, Facebook, YouTube, all those things. Go to our website, sign up to our mailing list, and let's hear that chorus one more time.